Hi, we're back. Welcome to part 2 of spinning. We're on another show horse here, and we went over some stuff on a rein cow horse, and this horse is a straight reiner, and she'll have a different style to her. She has a lot bigger step, and she drops her head a lot lower, and she's just a different style. The last mare in part 1 that we did the spinning video on was rein cow horse mare, and she has a lot more feel. She's a lot hotter of a horse. She's a little bit more elevated and upright. It's a style, and you need that hotness in those cow horses to get down the fence, to run fast after a cow. This mare wouldn't have that edge to go down the fence after a cow, but it's nice in the reining that she doesn't have that edge as much, that you could actually kick her without her jumping out of her skin, and she wants to stay quiet and low, where the other mare wants to be high and a little fast and a little tight. This mare wants to stay lower and softer, and that's the difference between the reining breeding and the cow horse breeding. So we're going to go ahead and get started here on our spins, and we're going to start the same way that we did the other horse. We're going to start out in some nice circles and have her develop that step and step down into the spin, and then afterwards we'll go ahead and start her from stop position just like at a horse show. So we'll start out by going to the right, and I'll go ahead and get two-handed, and I'm going to establish my circle of where I'm going to be. And in my mind, I think of it again like a square. There's a spot here, and over here. There's 4 corners. Now, it looks like a circle, and I have my horse round like it's a circle, but I'm thinking of it like a square so that I ride to my points. Now, I don't know if you can notice, but she keeps on wanting to look off in that direction, because the gate's that way, and I can already feel her being polarized that direction or magnetized that way. So I'm going to keep that in my mind, and I'm going to know that I'm going to have to ride harder this way to this point and not ride as hard that way to those points, because she's already wanting to go this way. So I'm going to polarize myself or magnetize myself that way. In my mind, I'm like, I want to go over here. And in her mind, I know she's going, I want to go over there. And between the two, we can stay right here in the middle. So now that I have her walking freely on a circle, and this shouldn't be hard, okay? I've basically established my circle. I'm lightly guiding my hands to the circle and using minimal amount of leg, but she knows to stay in the circle, okay? You guys need to have your horses broke enough, soft enough, and thinking about circling enough that doing this simple stuff stays simple. I've had a lot of people that can't stay on a circle to save their life. They're diving in over here, and then they're kicking their horse out over there, and then they're letting their horse go off over here. Oh, I was wrong. Now I'm going to go back over here. Okay. Now, they're everywhere but where they're supposed to be. And they wonder why their horse won't get balanced on a circle and be soft. So this should be easy. You should lightly be able to guide, barely be able to feather your legs, and she should stay in a nice circle. Then when you're ready, you can start tapering this circle down. And what I'm going to be looking for is the left front leg, this leg right here, to start stepping across the right front leg into a smaller circle. So I'm going to sit to the outside and back a little bit, open up my inside leg, start bumping my outside left leg, drawing my left rein just a little bit tighter, and asking her to start stepping across. So my left rein should attach to the left front foot to ask her to step over. And if I don't feel like she's collected, I might pull both reins. Okay? Good. There, 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 there. Now we're still walking a circle. We are not spinning yet. But I feel a nice step from her left front foot. Now I'll go ahead and open up my inside leg and let her step all the way around. If I feel like I'm having to pump her too much with my outside leg, I'm going to kick her off of it and then leave my leg alone. Kick her off of it and then leave my leg alone. Notice that none of this is hard for her. She's not worried about too much of it. She stays nice and low. That step is easy for her, and that's all just been created from a lot of circling. A lot of circling, a lot of side passing, a lot of driving, teaching her to step, 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 and stay balanced between her shoulders and her hips. Okay, we will go back that way again. Notice the first direction that she wants to go, again, is that way. I caught her right off the bat, and I tell her, no, I want to go this way. Okay, this time I might try this one-handed instead of two-handed. I'm still going to want the same things. The beauty of split reins versus the Rommel rein is that I've got my finger here in the middle, and I can slide rein. Sliding rein is where you can shorten a rein up or make it longer. So I can shorten this inside rein up just like that by just cinching down on it, and then I can pull her nose more to the inside. Or I can loosen that finger up, pull on both reins, which will extend that rein and balance her back up. When I go to her face or ask for collection, when I lift my hand, I want her to be balanced. I don't want too much inside rein. I don't want too much outside rein. Too much outside rein would cause her nose to go to the outside like that. And I do not want to be going to the right and have her looking to the left. That's in anything I ever do. If I'm going to the right, she needs to be looking to the right. So I'm going to let that left rein slide out of my hand and pull her nose back over to the right. When she is correct, I'm going to put my hand down and leave her alone. I'm still guiding and riding to my circle, and she knows that we're circling. I don't need to micromanage a whole lot, and I definitely don't need to be pulling on her face. But when I do go to her face, I want to make sure that my reins are balanced and that she's soft. What I mean by soft is that she gives her whole body and tucks her head down when I pick up my hand. Okay, again, I'm going to start to step her into that center of that circle. I feel her wanting to go this way, so I'm going to ride her hard this way, and then go ahead and start to tighten this circle up. My guide rein presses the button over here on the left-hand side, which then should connect to her left front leg. My left leg is the gas pedal. My right leg starts to go away. I'll cluck. And she steps around. I really like how smooth she was to her stop right there. There was no disconnected communication between her and I. She didn't go, oh, we're going to stop. She was right there with me. I just quit riding, dropped my hand down into the middle. And the difference between the guide into the spin into the middle is just that. There's a little box right here that you should be staying in. If your hand is way over here, then you need to use more leg and put your hand back towards the middle. There's a button on the side of her neck, and your hand just needs to press that button, okay? There's the button right there. Then the gas pedal comes from the button. Gas pedal button, gas pedal button, gas pedal button. Take the button off, put your hand back in the middle, they stop. Okay? What I don't want to do is pull really hard and drag her head off the other way, like this. I don't want to pull and have my hand way over here, and then I'm pulling her nose in that direction and dropping her shoulder to the inside. And it's not fair to her because I've pulled her out of balance. Now we call it dragging. I'm dragging her. I'm not balanced because I'm hanging off of my horse trying to spin her. And I see this all the time. It happens all the time. You need to stay in your little box here. I'm going to bridle her back up. Make sure that she's rocked back because of everything I just did to her. Now I'm going to touch the button and use all leg. And it's not a constant pressure with my leg. My leg is just kind of there if I need to hit the gas pedal. Okay? All right, that felt pretty good. I'm going to go to the trot now in that circle, and we're going to speed things up a little bit. I'm conscious to not let her go this way. Remember, I want to go that way. Okay, if she tries to lope instead of jog, I'm going to make sure to shake my tail or rock my hips. I'm going to show her, follow me. You don't need to lope. Right there, I felt her head go to the outside, so I'm going to make a connection and pull her nose to the inside. Kind of feel like she just needs to balance up a little bit. There. There. Now I feel like she has a cadence that I like. She's balanced the way I like her. I didn't like that she looked off. I want her committed. I'm basically telling her, we're going to go right. We're going to go right. We're going to go right. Get it together. We're going to go right. We're going to go right. Get it together. Then I start going right. And I want to keep this cadence. Cadence is the speed or the step. Keep that cadence. Back out. Okay, so she wanted to stop the cadence because I'd stopped a couple times. That's okay. I just kicked her back out to it and said, find that cadence. Good. I'm having to rock my hips a little bit so that she stays trotting. I want her to stay trotting. I'm going to keep her trotting. Make her wait for me. Get a little tighter circle. Now I'm going to let her go around. Good, back out. So she's getting a little confused because I'm talking, but the main thing is that my body was still telling her to go. So she needs to go. We're going to try it one more time. A lot of your horses will try to stop and start spinning right now. Keep them trotting. Balance them up. Make them wait for you. You don't want them to have a mind of their own. Balance cadence. Balance, keep that step the same speed. That's the cadence. Balance. Start stepping around. Much better that time. Oh. Good. I liked how her head was down. That was better. This mare is very quiet and sweet, and this is very easy for her to do. She's a non-pro horse. Again, that attention span. Stay here. A horse whinnied out there. It's a mare in full, so this mare immediately looked out there. This is a time for concentration. If we were in the show pen, I wouldn't allow this mare or want this mare to go looking off other places. So she's in school, she's in class, and she doesn't need, if I'm having a big problem, I'll just sit here and kick on her a minute. I'll just say, hey, where are you supposed to be? Think about staying here, there. Make her, if you need something to think about, I'm going to give you something to think about to stay here with me, because you don't need to be thinking about everything else. Okay, I'm going to start circles to the left. I'll walk her forward, directly into that left circle. So I picked up my rein right there, two-handed, because I didn't feel like she got off of that left rein. Okay, or excuse me, the right rein. So, if I'm one-handed and I go to lay the right rein on her and I don't feel like I have her giving to that rein, then I'm going to pick up my right hand and bump her off of it and say, hey, I'm guiding you off of that right rein. Please pick up and move off of it. Okay, I'm not going to let her just lean on that right rein. There, she feels a lot softer to it now when I pick it up. That feels good. So, we're going to go back into our trot on the circle. Now I'm going to make sure that she's guiding off of that right rein. I'm going to sit onto my right hip, drive my right leg, and drive her back onto this circle. There. I like how she's wanting to be low-headed. I just got to keep that cadence and keep her moving off of this right side going left. I want her to commit to the left. Commit going left. Commit going left. Now we're going to get down into that circle a little tighter. Keep the cadence. I don't feel like she's staying framed and getting off of that right rein, so I'm going to help her. And when I do, I'm not going to make my hands real wide, okay? I'm not going to go like this. She can't be in the middle of the reins if I go like this. Notice she left because she has no neck rein on, okay? You got to keep your neck rein on. Now you get back one-handed, driving her into that circle, asking her to balance up. She's not getting off of that. There. There. Okay. Notice that nice big step. There, much better. Good. Right out to it. That was a lot better. She's committed to going left now. I didn't even feel her lean into the gate. That's great. I look up, sit on my right hip, open my left leg. Whoa. Good. I'm happy with that. Felt like she could have been a little better going down into it, but I still want to start her from a stop for you guys on the camera. So I'm going to leave that alone. I felt like her step was really good. She's soft. She's low-headed. Her cadence, she finally thought left when we were going left. She's not over there leaning to the right when I'm trying to go left. So I was happy with that. So now that we've loosened her up, we've installed the cadence, the speed that we wanted. We've developed that nice step. She's not bothered. We can go in and out. Now we're going to work on starting and stopping from a specific point. Now, I'm going to establish that this is my point of reference. So this is where I'm going to start and stop. I'm not going to change that on her unless, if anything, it would be that way if I did change it. But I'm probably not going to change it at all. Remember that I wouldn't stop this way because the gait is that way and she's been polarized and leaning that way the whole time. So I wouldn't stop going that direction. I'm going to establish that this is my start spot. So I'm going to try to make this my stop spot. And we're going to go from there. The first thing I do when I'm about to spin is lift my hand a little bit and ask her to bridle up. Not only do I lift my hand, but I bump my feet. The reason why you bump your feet and not just lift your hand is because your hand only attaches to her face. Okay? When I lift my hand, it makes her head duck down, but it doesn't do anything to her body. Okay? I want her to not only tuck her head, but to round up her whole body. Okay? So I'm going to lift my hand and bump my feet. And I can feel her literally stuck up her stomach. Okay? Then I'm going to, after I have my collection, I'm going to start bumping my right leg, release my left leg, and build into a faster spin. Whoa. Good. So she stopped right where I wanted her to stop. I actually said, whoa, over here, and she took one more step. Everything with this mare isn't as sharp and as crisp as the last horse I rode. So as a showman, this is where your showmanship comes in. I would have to be able to step off of the hot horse that if you said, whoa, she was going to stop right there, not take one more step, get onto a horse that's a little bit softer and not as sparky, doesn't have as much energy, and I know that if I say, whoa, there, it's going to take her one more stride to stop. It's not that she's being bad. She's just a big, soggy, slower type of mare. It just takes her one stride to put the cue into effect. But I know that about her, and so I was able to stop right where I wanted to by cueing a stride before. But there's a lot of times that you can draw back-to-back at a horse show or something, and that's one thing I will say for non-pro riders that's pretty tough is they get riding their one horse, and that's the way they ride. And they don't know how to ride anything else. I think it's really good for a non-pro rider to get on some other horses. Ask your trainers if you can go over there and lope some horses for them or something, and get to know the horse that you're riding by the feel of the horse. The horse is going to tell you what you need to do. So the more horses you ride, the better you're going to get, and you should be able to jump on anything and be able to do this stuff, not just get pigeonholed into your one horse. Okay, we're going to spin to the right now. I'm going to ask for that collection, release my right leg, put the left rein on her neck. Okay, I stopped. I wasn't thinking about where I stopped right there. What I was thinking about is telling you guys that she feels stiff on this side. She feels like she needs to bring her nose to the inside a little bit more. And she doesn't feel like she's spinning around my right leg like she did the other way. So, knowing that, I'm going to bump her nose to the inside a little bit more on the start and kick her with my right leg to frame her body up, to make her rib cage go to the outside before I even start. And I may lift on that inside rein a little bit into that spin to try to ask her to round up a little bit more. And I might pick up my hand and say, hey, Oh. Okay, that was better. I felt like I had to help her a whole lot, and I don't want to do that, so we're going to do it again, and this time I'm going to leave her on her own and see what she does. I'm going to ask her to spin. See, even right there when I lifted my hand, she didn't immediately hook into the right. Right there, she's just trashy. She's just trashing around. Ooh. So I feel like she needs to go back to her circles. She needs to pick herself up and quit messing around. She's stiff on this right side. I'm going to kick her and tell her to lift up. Then I'll let her start coming down, down. Ooh, there, I was much happier with that one. So I'll go ahead and start her again, just because she's got to go from a dead stop. I just felt like she wasn't committing to the right. She was just messing around, even when I started her from the beginning. Okay, so now we've let her catch her breath. She was kind of trashing around to the right. She wasn't committing to the right. We were going right, but she wasn't 100% committed, like, let me give you 100% over here to the right. She was just, she started out a little stiff, then she got loose, and the whole thing was just kind of a mess. So then we put her back into her circle, and now we're going to step her around to the right again and see if we have a little bit more commitment and balance. Okay, so we'll go to her face, open our leg. We have more commitment right from the start. Good. Ooh. Okay, I was really happy with that. Right from the beginning, as soon as I touched that spot on her neck, put that guide on, which is like pressing a button into that spin, she had total commitment to the right. She's still thinking right, which is good because I couldn't get her to think right a few minutes ago. So she had total commitment right there. I was really happy with it. At the very end, I even sped her up just a little bit, and she's still quiet, low-headed. Feel like she had a lot more frame that time, which is collection. And a nice big step with cadence, and I was really happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and quit her right here in her stop spot. I wouldn't want to then walk her off to the gate that I've told her to not go towards this whole entire time. So I'm just going to get off her and quit her right here. We did want to go over one more tidbit. We did talk about sliding rein a little bit. So sliding rein, these are split reins. And your finger goes right into the middle of them. Wherever you point your hand is your guide. Reining's definition is willingness of your horse to be guided on a pattern, okay? And we work off of the mane of the horse right here. When you see reiners running big fast circles, they run their hand up that mane, okay? And then they're guiding. Wherever they point their hand is where the horse is going to go. If I guide over here, she should go over to the middle of it. If I guide over there, she should want to be in the middle of it, okay? If I drop my hand back down in here, that's her cue to go into the slower circle. If I point my hand straight ahead, she knows to go forward and go find that guide. Okay, when I slide rein, I'm going to use my thumb and my index finger, and I'm going to slide that right rein shorter. Now that right rein is shorter, so if I go to her face, I can pull her head over to the right. Okay, then I can lengthen it back out. And now I can slide my left rein, and I'm going to take my middle finger and my index finger, and I'm going to scooch that left rein shorter. And then when I pull on that rein, I can pull her head over there. And then I can slide that back out. I can either flop it like that, or I can just lift up and leave room so it can slide through my hand, and then it's back to balanced. I can make them both shorter when sliding rein. And then I can pull and let them both slide through my hands and make them both longer. I can make my reins really long. I can shorten them right back up. I can do whatever it takes to make the adjustment that I need to make. One rein or the other, longer or shorter. That's called sliding rein. Sliding rein is completely legal with split reins. Being able to slide rein and being able to use your middle finger to help your horse is the beauty of riding with split reins versus a Rommel rein. A Rommel rein is that solid rein that you have to have your hand around, and you cannot slide rein legally with a Rommel rein. There's no way to really open your hand. You can slide it up and down to make it longer and shorter, but it's really hard to grab one side and pull. And if you get caught opening your hand at all, you're zeroed. Okay? So it's a lot harder to do because you can't manipulate your hand. You can slide it up and down pretty easy, but it's really hard to grab one rein and pull without the other. If you get caught opening your hand like that, you're going to get a zero. So that's why we ride split reins a lot of times, so that we can slide rein and help our horses and everything stays totally legal. So I hope those tidbits help you. We are going to have a part 3, and if you have any questions, you can email me or Facebook me or give me a call, and be sure to watch the other 2 parts of this video.